Hey there, and welcome back to the Skills Canada Technical Training Guide for Graphic Design. Today we're going to talk about vector versus raster, or raster versus vector in this case, in that order, and why it's important to know the difference between the two and when to use them. Again, some of this you may have been taught in school, I hope, and if you haven't, then hopefully this is helpful. Every image on screen uses pixels, and pixels make up the image that we're looking at. In this case, this set of falls. So images that are opened in this case with Photoshop are going to be using the pixel system. So what that means is when I open up a picture, you can see it very clearly at this resolution that we're looking at it. But as we start to enlarge it and as we start to scale up, you will notice at some point that the detail is lost, and now we will only see the pixels that make up that picture. This is the basis for all raster images. They all use this system of a very detailed, very complex grid of colors to create what we perceive as a digital image on a screen. The problem with this system is that we are always going to be bound by the detail of this picture. So if we wanted to blow this picture up, let's say to the size of maybe the side of a building, who knows? Sometimes the images that we use, or oftentimes the images that we use, just do not support that quality. And this is where we would obviously have to know what our resolution is and all the rest of it, PPI, and we'd have to check to make sure that it falls within the requirements for the project that we're working on. So that's raster images. Again, let's take a look at this logo. All right, now this is a logo for Skills Canada. This is a PNG image. If I zoom in on it, you will see that it starts to pixelate as it gets larger. All right. Now, a logo is an example of an image that does not have to be based on pixels. A lot of artwork that we see that's hand-drawn, if it's done in Illustrator, is using a different system. And that system is vector. Okay, so we're going to go and jump into Illustrator to show you the difference. Remember, again, zoom in, blocky, pixels. If we go into Illustrator, we've got that same graphic, except this time the graphic has been created within Illustrator as a vector image. And what that means is that we have gone and either traced this out, or the designer has applied a version of the logo in vector. And with this system, it's called Bezier curves. It's a system that relies on math. And as we zoom in on this image, this graphic, we are never going to get a pixelated preview because the lines have been created using math. And let me just show you what that means. If I select these, see these little handles, right? These curves that are within this artwork never lose quality, no matter what size they get to. So you could easily take this logo, make it the size of a skyscraper if you wanted to, and it is going to still look just as clear as it does at the small size that we're viewing it. One way we can kind of look at our vector lines, if we go to View, Outline, we can see the lines that create that vector artwork. And you'll notice that, again, this is going to work really well for simple images or simple graphics. Logos is a great example of where this works really, really well. But it's not going to give us the same color tone or detail that we have in a photograph, for example. It would be very difficult to create something like this in vector and have it look the same. All right, so knowing when to use each one, whether it's raster or vector, is very important. And also knowing the limitations of each one is also very important. So hopefully that makes sense as to what those terms mean when you see vector and raster.